This is the addendum to nephrons part 2. So, as I was saying in the last lecture, you have the blood, which is oxygen rich, forming a new capillary bed, a new arteriole coming out of the glomerulus, and then a new capillary bed going by the renal tubule. And during that time, you wind up having blood as it goes through the capillaries, losing its oxygen, but also picking up materials from the blood that your bloodstream wants to keep. Then what happens is that eventually the oxygen poor blood that has picked up the valuable nutrients and other things that your body wants to keep, that then flows into a venule. And that venule, my point is then, and here I'm going to just use the blue marker, the venule then winds up joining the renal vein. So you have the renal artery. You have the renal artery supplying blood to the nephron, and then you have the renal vein eventually taking the blood away from that nephron. So I wanted to complete that picture for you, but I also need to talk about capillaries and reabsorption just to write this out for you. So, as I drew out here, regarding capillaries and reabsorption, then, after becoming capillaries in the glomerulus, the blood vessels reform into an arteriole. Then the arteriole forms a more usual set of capillaries, as you see here. And I will say, into which the reabsorbed nutrients and water pass. And these then flow together into venules, as I have indicated here. And then finally into the renal vein, as I showed you here. So in this second capillary bed. The usual oxygenation of cells the oxygenation of blood, and so on. That is to say, the usual things that happen at the capillary level then. All of that then takes place in this second capillary bed following the capillaries in the glomerulus reforming into one arteriole. And then, as I said, you get a second capillary bed that flows around the renal tubule and so on. And that's what we've described here. And that is the end of this addendum to the nephron part 2.